Yes, guys, welcome to the call here. I definitely wanted to take a quick minute and just answer some questions, especially people that are coming brand new and just, subscribe to the channel and they have questions and they needed to be answered. I know yesterday, I think it was 2 people that reached out to me. And Vera, I think you reached out to me on, was it Saturday or Sunday, I believe?
It was Saturday.
It was Saturday, yes. And so the other guys that reached out to me after that, I just couldn't get a chance. I didn't get a chance to actually talk to them. But definitely wanted to kind of do more of a group thing and then one-on-one. And when I do get a chance to do like the one-on-one that I kind of went over with you quickly, then I also love to do those as well. So yeah, so my name is John. I know JR is on the line there, and whoever joins, my partner Bill is on the line as well. He may be able to answer some questions if we run into anything that he may have more knowledge on. Him and I have been doing business for the last 3 years, real estate. Yeah. And we also did network marketing together. And so, I think, Vera, you said you had some background on network marketing and things like that.
Yeah, I do.
So it definitely, it puts some things in your you gain some new sets of skills when you do those kind of businesses. And when you bring it to real estate, it definitely changes things, right?
Exactly. But I thought at the time I thought, I'm wasting my time, but now I'm like, I can actually use it here, because I'm hearing all this cold calling, Facebook ads, Google ads. I'm like, okay, it's not bad. I'm glad I did. I went through that channel. Everything happens for a reason.
You're cutting up. You're kind of cutting up a little bit there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good. So you did some network marketing, as you said, I think it was Sunday. You did some network marketing, and now you're in real estate. You haven't started marketing yet. I just kind of didn't want to just talk about wholesaling. Kind of wanted to bring some specific, bring you to see if you had any specific questions that I can maybe tackle, and just, be able to get right to it. And also, I know JR had some questions. And I know there was another gentleman that joined and had a lot of questions, and I tried to answer him, but I know that he probably had a lot more different questions as well.
Okay, sounds great. So do we just start off with questions, or how do you want to start?
Yeah, so let's start up with questions, unless you want me to talk about a specific thing on real estate wholesaling. Other than that, we can definitely start with questions. I can just tell you quickly, I've been in the real estate, like I said earlier, for 3 years. It took us maybe about a year to earn our first 6 figures in the business.
Wow.
It took me about 6 months to get the first deal though.
Wow.
So after that, now, so now you get to bring, you get to, have a little bit more momentum after you close the first deal. So that's why I always tell people, if you can just get the first deal out of the way, then, you can feel like you start feeling like you can do this over and over again. And so it just kind of rolls down from there. Yeah, so it took me 6 months to get my first deal. After the first deal, we started building a company now, because, real estate wholesaling is a hustle, right? It's a hustle it's a side hustle that you can make it into a business. And so there are people that just stay on a hustle and never turn it into a business. But, if you are somebody who really wants financial freedom, you want to go from just wholesaling to, building a business in wholesaling. And once you have a business in wholesaling, you can actually now become a full real estate investor now, where you can now begin to buy some of those properties, for fix and flips, or even buy and hold those properties for cash flows and things like that. And so for me and my partner, that's kind of where we are focusing now. We're focusing more on buying and holding those properties for cash flow. Even though we still have that business of a wholesaling going, we are thinking now more of how can we buy and hold those properties instead of just wholesaling them.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah,
that's a good innovation.
Yeah.
And I know you do well because you have a wealth of knowledge and experience. So I believe you will just crush it. You do amazing.
Amen. 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 We thank God. It's definitely knowledge is everything that you need. I always tell people that when you're getting started, the first thing is you need knowledge, a little bit of knowledge. And then once you gain that knowledge, you need to take that action. Begin taking actions right away, and don't stay too long on the knowledge paralysis. Get just as much as you can to start running. And when you start running, you begin to manifest. So get a little bit of knowledge, take action, and gain more knowledge while taking action, and begin to manifest and get some deals on a contract and close deals, basically.
Awesome. That's a good that's a good advice, because some people keep reading, and every time you go on YouTube, somebody has something else. Everybody's talking about a different app. Everybody's talking about something else. So if you're not careful, you end up taking notes and watching like 1,000 videos without doing anything. Yeah. So that's a good tip that I'm going to implement it. Yeah.
Definitely. So just go. Maybe somebody else here is also looking to. So I think you said you started real estate. You started learning about real estate wholesaling in 2018 or 2019.
Yes, but I didn't really pay attention to it. I started to go to what's the name, drop shipping for a little bit, and then I went to do forex. Then I'm like, wow. I'm in the forex. I'm still working on the forex because that one is like easy money that God gives us if you know what you're doing. But I feel like my passion is real estate. Real estate is also my passion. And if somebody has been able to do it, by the grace of God, I'll also be able to do it. It just takes consistency, and perseverance. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Wow. That is wonderful. I think you're at the right place. You are. I think JR is texting that his mic is not on. Yes, if you have any questions, you can text it there as well. We can try to answer you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me start with the questions so we don't waste too much time, or we end up talking.
No problem.
So I was thinking, right? I remember the other day I was telling you about trying virtual for now because of my job demands. I'm so busy. So I was thinking of maybe doing virtual wholesaling. And I remember I'd asked you like about cold calling, getting the data and then hiring somebody to do cold calling for me. For a newbie, would you advise me to hire a VA as a newbie? Or you would suggest that maybe I just do my own texting and cold calling by myself till I make my first deal, then I use the money to hire a VA?
I think it all depends on where you are financially, right? So if you have money to invest, there are people that come into there's a guy that I've heard his story where he had business background, and so he went and he had some money. He had some $20,000-$30,000 sitting there. And so he went and hired some cold callers and had a full office and things like that, and they just start cold calling.
Oh wow.
So that's different. And he he built his business very fast. And obviously when you start big like that, you also go through a lot of failures very quick.
Exactly.
And so he started closing, getting properties in a contract in a big way, a lot of properties, because he has those people working for him. I think he had like 10 cold callers and things like that.
Oh wow.
But the main thing here is that he had money to invest, and he had a business background.
Yeah.
But for somebody who is like me, coming in here with absolutely no money saved, I would say start small, you know, and then grow into it. Because when you start small, you know, you wear all the hats. And when I say you wear all the hats, you are the marketer, you are the person that is also going to be doing, you know, acquisition. If you don't have a partner, you're also the one that's going to be doing disposition. But all of that starts from you, basically, you know, taking the action. But I would recommend, if you don't have the money, I would say go out, drive for dollar. You know, in your neighborhood. Right? In your neighborhood, usually, trust me, no matter how clean your neighborhood is, there are deals there. I found my very first, you know, I on my YouTube channel, I spoke about the very first deal that I closed. But before that, I had another property that was also under contract, even though it didn't close. And, you know, my first, the deal that I closed came from a bandit sign. And I was taking 2 action points. I was taking driving for dollar, and I was also doing you know, bandit sign. So I got a property under contract driving for dollar first. Even though the other one closed first, the bandit sign one closed first. The $15,000 that I talked about on my YouTube channel.
Right. I listened to it.
Yeah. So basically, you know, now I started to have some money to invest into marketing and to start hiring people. Yeah.
I don't want to ask all the questions. I just give JR, you know, the floor to ask his question, and then I'll chime in with something else later. After
yeah, absolutely. Did I answer your questions about virtual wholesaling though? Did you ask me about a virtual wholesaling question?
Yes. That's you answered it. Just that I had another question after that. You know, like, because I've seen like there's this app called Batch Driven, where you drive online, like you drive virtually around like a neighborhood or a city to see all the like the houses that are like how was it called, distressed houses and those vacant houses and all these tax whatever issue houses. And I was wondering, have you ever tried that app, Batch Driven?
I've never tried that app. I mean, it works good and great for other people. For me, the kind of person I am is the kind of person that likes like to be there physically.
Yeah.
Like, I think, you know, in the future I can do like, you know, hire some people to work from home wherever they are and drive that, you know, be on the app. But for me personally, I like to be in the car. Like, I like to be in the car and drive, like see myself, you know. Yeah, so that's just me, you know. But there are people that are actually doing big deals also, you know, driving from the app, and I think they're saving some gas money too. So that's different.
Amazing. Wow.
Yeah. So definitely, you know, if I think they both work. I think it just really depends on what you choose to push. Yeah. So if it's that what you want to do, it's something that you just have to really learn and, you know, make sure that you're taking all the right steps towards it. Yeah. So I see JR, he says, sorry, my mic isn't working for some reason. And he says, my light went off. 1 second. Just a second.
The state or city that you are in. I think so. JR, can I answer your question? I don't know, I may be wrong.
My mic is back on. Yeah, you could.
Okay, man, maybe I'll say something little, then John will come in. So JR, like, try and find a Facebook group in your city, like real estate investor, and then whatever city you're in. Because I'm in the DMV area. So I joined a couple of the real estate groups here, and one group, right? Like once somebody posts like a what's the name? Like when they try to like advertise, oh, I have a house in this area, PM me if interested. So many cash buyers will put their emails under the comment. You know, I saw it like yesterday. I was like, oh wow, that's so many cash buyers, you know. So maybe that's another approach, but I'm sure John will have more better answers for you.
That's a great idea.
John, I can't hear you. You're muted.
Okay, sorry, I hit my my mute button, and I think I had maybe stepped on my lights here. It's kind of what time zone are you guys in?
Eastern Standard.
Eastern.
Okay, so we are around the same time zone then.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's raining in my area, so it feels a lot darker. So yes, so JR, your question was, you know, how do you find a cash buyer virtually, and how do you find a good closing company in a state or city you're wholesaling in? You know, just Google it. I think, you know, you're especially for the closing attorney. Just Google it, and I think you just tap in Google, you know, closing attorney in whatever state you are in, and then you should definitely be able to, you know, be able to find a closing attorney in your area.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Is that the same as title company? Sorry for cutting in.
Yes, title company and you know, an attorney, closing attorney, it's the same thing.
Same thing.
Vera just gave me a good idea also that I never thought about. Finding the cash buyers on Facebook in the groups.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Did you guys watch, maybe you didn't, but did you watch maybe top 5 ways of how to you know, get a cash buyers list on the video that I created by any chance?
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
I have to check it out. I didn't check it out.
Yeah, so Facebook is whatever city you live in. I would say go to definitely go to Facebook and make sure you join all the real estate investing groups.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Florida, they will have a lot of groups. Florida will have a lot of groups because it's a big city. It's a popular, a hot area. Yeah. So.
What city are you in, JR?
In West Palm Beach.
West Palm.
Oh, you're in Florida.
Yeah.
Wow, we know some people down there actually.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we know some people. Yeah, well, I'm in this big group called Sub 2.
Sub 2, okay.
Sub 2 is run by Pace Moby.
Okay.
He's a coach for seller financing and Subject 2.
Okay.
And so we have a community that's all over like the country. And so if you ever have like a property under contract and you need a buyer, you know, just reach out to me and say, hey, I have a property in this area, and then I can try to connect. Yeah, I can try to connect you to whoever is out there, and see if we can connect you to a cash buyer or somebody that may know a cash buyer.
Okay, great.
So what about DC and Maryland, Virginia? Do you know people there, John?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
There's tons of people there doing a lot of deals. So my partner was just there over the last weekend, and also I think we were in DC. I think it was in like April, and we went there for ministry conference. Definitely, there's a lot of bandit signs. So when you see a lot of bandit signs like that, you know that there is a lot of wholesalers and fix and flippers.
I see.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So absolutely. How about you, JR? How did you you know end up in real estate? You know, how and why did you end up in real estate?
I used to be a realtor back in New Hampshire. I told you I used to live in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
So, but after
New Hampshire. Wow.
Yeah. In Manchester, I used to live in Manchester.
Manchester, right? One of my
funny?
campus is there. Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny? Vera is also from Massachusetts. Somehow you guys both have lived in New England at some point.
New England,
Oh, really?
right? Because
Wow.
I went to school there, and then one of our campuses is also in New Hampshire. So, wow.
Yeah.
No, the thing is, with John, when I went to connect with you on your page, that's when I was surprised. I'm like, oh, you know pretty much all the guys I knew in New Hampshire.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like those are still good friends of mine, but the person I kind of like connect with kind of like every week is Suku.
Yeah.
Yes, so I was surprised when I saw that.
It's a small world. It's a very small world.
Yeah. Wait, are you African or you're African American?
No, I'm actually Haitian.
Oh, okay. You're one of us. Yeah, so you're all the same.
Everyone used to think I was from Sudan when I was up there because I was always with these guys.
That's nice.
At every party, at every dinner, I was always with them. I love these guys.
Wow.
That's nice. I'm from Ghana, but we are all the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. So definitely to get back to your questions, I would say get all basically go to the Facebook groups, post your deals there. If it's a really big deal, I would I don't post so much deals on Facebook anymore because I have some solid cash buyers.
People, right?
Yeah. So after a while, you kind of have, like a buyers list that, who to send to right away.
Right.
So that's one of it. Also, Craigslist is a good one as well. You can post your leads there. One of my cash buyer today that is buying, I came from a Craigslist.
Oh, wow.
So Craigslist, Facebook,
Zero?
and also Facebook. And if you have the groups, and also if you have like, if you're doing bandit signs, that's also a really good way to get connected with buyers list, people that see your signs, that you're a wholesaler. So they will start calling you and say, you know what, if you have any deals, send it my way.
Okay. Now, I don't know if Vera has any other questions. I wanted, like, my fear with all this, I would say, ever since I've been looking into it, was that one kind of right now helped me to move forward. My second thing was, how do you protect yourself in a way that if you can't find a cash buyer for that deal?
You don't have too much of a commitment, right?
Sorry?
You don't have too much of a commitment in that deal. For me, first thing I do is when I get a property, or if I'm going to get a property on a contract, I do like a if I have some kind of questions about it to see if this is a real deal or not, I would put like 14 days due diligence on it.
Oh, okay.
I would say like this. I would say like this purchase agreement is subject to 14 days due diligence.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you guys are putting down for deposit, but I really never put down a lot of money. Most of the time I really don't put it in deposit, but you should put a deposit, even if it's like $10 to $20 for the contract to be like, legitimate.
Okay.
Okay.
But, I think with JR, with you're probably used to people putting down thousands of dollars.
Yes, I've heard that.
Yeah. As a realtor, usually you would require anybody that's going to be buying a property, you usually require them to put at least, 1,000, 2,000 or 500, something like that down.
Yeah.
So with wholesaling, it's a little different.
Some people were saying that you have to get them to put like a deposit, like of like 5K, so that way they won't back out and they'll have no choice than to buy.
But that's if you are dealing with the end buyer.
End buyer, okay. Also for the seller, that's what you guys are talking about, right?
Yeah. So I think JR, you're asking about the seller, right? How do you get out of contract if you can't wholesale it, or if it turns out not to be a deal?
Yes.
All right. Okay. I missed the question. All right.
Yeah. So, first is the due diligence period. The second is just, before you put a property under contract, make sure it's, do your necessary research that make sure that, this is a deal. You make sure you leave yourself some room there. But other than that, you can definitely do the 14-day due diligence things and walk away. And if it's past the 14 days due diligence, you can just, give that $20 or $10, give it to the title company, and the title company will give it to them.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now that you're talking about that, now let me ask you about the contracts. Whose contracts do you use? Flipman's contract, or do you have like a special contract and like templates that you use? Whose template do you use?
I have a lot of purchase agreements now because I also buy houses with seller finance deals. And seller finance, that's totally different thing. You definitely need a lot more, training on that, and you just have to do like the necessary different kind of documents. But I personally, I still use Flipman's contract until today because it works so good for me, and I figured that there's no point of even like trying to change it, because like, why change something that's working well? It's a one page purchase agreement.
Okay.
Now and there I get into a place where the seller would be like those sellers that are like doctors, whatever, they would be like they would want like those long 10 pages contract that they've seen realtors use.
So
when it comes to that, I would say just I have those two for the state of Maine. You can contact the title company to give you one of those, because one, they're gonna give it to you because they know you're gonna bring business to them. If you tell them, I have a closing and I really, I have this seller. Most title companies will work with you. They will work with you well because they'll even back you up. Like I have a title company that I have a few, but I have one that always backs me up. If a seller really has a lot of questions for me and they don't know if they can trust me or not, I send them to this title company and say, hey, call my attorney, call my closing attorney. I've done tons of deals here, and usually they will back me up. They would say, oh, John, we know him. He does, he comes here regularly, like, and so they build a relationship and cover things up in a big way.
That's smart.
Yeah, but just to get back to your question, yes, I still use Flipman's contract. I use the other ones for different purchases, but when it comes to just wholesaling, I use a Flipman's contract.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So do you have the contracts?
No, I was actually thinking, because even though I have his course, I don't think there's anywhere that I can click to get the contracts. I think I was gonna Google it last night and see if I'll get the contract or something. How did you get it, John?
It's right online. I can send it to you too.
Yeah, please send it to me.
I would love that too.
Yeah, I'll send it to JR too. I can send it to you guys there.
So for the contract, you have to give a contract to the seller and then a contract to the buyer too, right? So
yes,
does he have to have a contract for the buyer, or is just for the seller?
It's the same contract.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's the same contract.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think maybe one other day I'll just do a Zoom on how to fill up the contract. It's very simple.
Please. Please do.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And if I get any lead and somebody reach out to me, I'm coming to you, because I don't know what I'm gonna be doing. So
absolutely. You can even yeah, absolutely. If you need a backup, somebody to talk on your behalf and something that you don't understand, feel free to reach out and say, hey, you know what, I need help with this. If I'm so busy that you can't, or if you have a meeting that's coming up, reach out to me maybe a couple of hours ahead. It might be a lot easier so that I can prepare myself and make myself available.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Did I answer all your questions, or is there anything that's out there? I know you have tons of questions that are out there. But as you're taking action.
Okay, so can you just go through PropStream a little? It looks like everybody uses that PropStream. Do you? I'm sure you use that too because you have mentioned it before. Can you go through it a little bit for us?
We use PropStream, me and my partner.
Okay.
Most likely to pull data. There are a lot of people that use Batch. Batch is also really good, but I use PropStream because you know, the MLS data came back on it. There was a time that the MLS data was taken out of it. So if you don't have MLS, you're not a realtor, then you don't know how to, you know, Zillow is one of those sources, Realtor is one of those sources you can see ARVs of a property, but PropStream is really good. So you can actually, you know, see who owns a property. You can dig into the history of who owns a property, maybe how much is left on the property, how much mortgage. You can also see how much liens. So when it comes to pulling a record, you want to pull a record like liens. Was it you, JR? I'm not sure if it's you that asks about the, you know, tax and code violations.
Yeah.
Yes. So you can actually pull like a specific list from PropStream, just a list of people that you want to target. You can, you know, pull a list of people that are distressed. One is you can pull a divorce list, you can pull a pre-foreclosure list, you can pull the tax delinquency, you know, all those different, you know, criteria. You can use PropStream for that. And you can, once you have those lists, you can actually now skip trace that list. You can dial it yourself or now send it to your people.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So John, besides PropStream, which other app do you use? Do you use ADOBE? Do you use a texting app, or what do you do?
I use I use a couple of different things. Right now, when we were doing our own cold calling, we use cold tools for some point. Now, now that we have cold callers working for us, you know, we don't do so much of cold calling ourselves. I just use like a third, like a secondary phone number. It's called SIDELINE. That's an app. It's like $10 a month. Instead of using your personal number, I can use that. It links into my phone, and it gives you a second number.
Right? Yeah.
So that's one app that I use that's helpful for me. I also have CallRail. You know, CallRail. You know, CallRail. Have you heard about CallRail?
No.
CallRail gives you about 10 numbers. It's about $45 a month. It gives you about 10 different numbers. So like I have marketing coming from Driving for Dollar. So when people call me from there, I know that person's calling me from there. I have people, I have a benefit number that when somebody dials that number, it goes through CallRail and it comes to my, you know, SIDELINE number.
Oh, I see.
And so
I don't know if you know Jacob Blank. I think he has an app like that. That is a ready mode or something. He said it does the same thing. It calls like 10 numbers at once. It's very effective.
So you have call forwarding that's all coming to that number, and then it gets forwarded to the phone number that you want it to be forwarded to.
Oh, okay, that's nice. How do you spell that? CallRail?
It's CallRail. It's CAIL and Rail, RAIL. I believe that's how you spell it.
Okay. All right.
Besides that, I think, you know, I can't even remember how many. Yeah, besides PropStream, I still have Deal Machine. Deal Machine, you can actually use PropStream now actually to Drive for Dollar as well.
Oh, okay.
I tested that out. If you have PropStream, you can use that and actually export that list right out of there. So if you go Driving for Dollar using PropStream, you can actually like the properties that you that you drove to and just export those leads. So we've tried that, and so we are looking to go more that way than continuing with deal machine.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Do you text at all, or you only do cold calling?
That's something that we are looking to
get
into.
For dollar. Okay.
That is something that we're looking to get into. Texting. We've done cold calling. We've done Facebook ads. We've done about, you know, for mailing, we've only done the, you know, the driving for dollar and postcards that we send. That's about it.
Was the postcards effective?
Postcards are effective. Right now we've closed a few deals. Right now I have about a $54,000 deal that is closing.
Oh, nice.
From that. Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So how do you get the postcards? Do you buy them, or you do them on Canva yourself, or how do you?
No, if you have deal machine, I mean, if you have deal machine or even PROPSTREAM, you can actually create that in the app.
Oh, okay.
So now when you go to send it, it just, once you fill up everything there, when you send those postcards, it already has all your information on it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And sorry, it looks like I'm asking other questions.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good.
So for Facebook ads, right? For me that did drop shipping a little bit, that we have a little idea of how to create ads. Would you advise us to also use that route?
With which one?
Facebook ads.
Facebook ads is not for beginners, I would say, because it's at least when we set it up, it costs us some money. It costs about $5,000 to set it up.
Yeah,
and then it's, you know, and it's like $1,000 monthly, kind of $1,000 or $2,000 monthly, depending on who you're working with.
So
I would,
if you can do your own ads, John, is cheaper, or you can even get a good person on Fiverr to do it for you.
Yes, you can, but
although digital marketers, they will charge you like an arm and a leg. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's a good idea. But you have to really niche the marketing. Like that's what we had, like a professional do it. So I think, you know, yes, if you have somebody else that does it, they can really niche what their targetings are. But you're absolutely right. There are people that can absolutely do it for cheaper.
Yeah, somebody can do it for cheaper, but I know the people up here, when they do digital marketing, it's thousands of dollars. That's what they charge. My friend does it for this dentistry company. She charges them thousands. It's expensive. Yeah. But if you know how to do it yourself, like I took a course on it. If you can do it yourself, it's a lot cheaper. You save a lot of money. Don't worry. In case I understand it, I will show you, so you don't have to be paying these people. That $1,000, $5,000, you can use it to buy something. You know, maybe buy data or do something for your business.
Yeah. I think with the company that we had, they would actually call the leads for us. Like, all the leads would come to like a system, like a CRMA, and then they call those leads, and then they send the very hot leads to us. And so so we were only dealing with like picking up the call and see if they're ready to sign the purchase agreement.
Oh, okay. What company is that? I mean, just for the future.
The company didn't end up working out well for us. We only tried it for 3 months, and then somehow they went out of company. When they went out of business. And but right before they went out of business, we did that on the first month that we did our Facebook ads. We had our first contract, and we made $10,000 out of it right away.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so we didn't really lose any money out of it, and I gained a ton of general contractors and things like that. People that reach out to me and say, "Hey, you know what? If you have any properties, you know, that you would like me to fix, whatever." So I got a lot of lists from that as well. But I would say we are looking for a different Facebook ad person right now. Me and my partner will probably put the money back in there, and either we do it with somebody who is like a digital marketer, or we find a really good company that can have a system that we can allow them to run our ads.
I see.
Yeah.
friend, he's Ghanaian. He teaches you know, drop shipping and stuff like that. He started with drop shipping. Him and his partner, they are really good. They make millions now from e-commerce. But for them, they do like, they sell clothing. Maybe they can help, but they are not. They teach every art, like the way how they teach the arts. You can do it for any business. It doesn't matter if it's a coaching company, if it's a weight loss company, whatever. You can, you know, yeah. For him, I feel like Reyes can do it, but that guy, he's pricey, so I don't know. I don't know.
You know, all the good people are pricey, you know?
Yeah, but he's really good. Him and his partner, yeah, he's really, the partner is Nigerian and he's Ghanaian, yeah. And I'm sure he would be happy to help because you're African, but yeah,
absolutely, you know, just sometimes you just gotta check out. It's always good to see who's doing what and, you know, what kind of service they provide.
Right.
For me, at this level, I just, you know, I want something that is solid. It's something that will benefit my company in a positive manner. So, you know, anything that can, just do a little bit of research.
I remember he was helping this girl with her Instagram boutique, and I remember him saying that the girl that year they went home with $1 million in sales. So after everything, I'm sure they would go home with like 500K or like, you know, after they take out, which is pretty amazing, you know. Yeah, he's really good. Just that.
Yeah.
In case you don't find anybody, I can talk to him. I can look for him and see if he can help you guys. But yeah.
Absolutely. So definitely, let's if you know, if you have any other questions, you know, we're gonna wrap it up. I think it's now 50 minutes. But yeah, if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate.
My only thing is just Vera. I don't know. I couldn't hear who she was talking about for the drop shipping.
Oh, it was my friend. He's like a friend. Well, he's really good. He teaches about digital marketing, like Facebook ads. That's his forte. He's really good, and he helped like these girls. They made like $1 million in sales for their their boutique here. So I was telling John, because he teaches like Facebook ads and Instagram ads for any company. It doesn't have to be just an online boutique or a store. You understand? An online store, can be for anything. Yeah. So I was telling John that in case he doesn't have anybody and he still wants to do it, and he wants the last option, I can talk to him. Maybe he can help. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. There's other ways that other way of marketing is you know, if you don't have any money at all, I would say talk to realtors in your area and tell them that you are a buyer, a cash buyer, that if they have any properties that comes off the market and they are looking for a cash buyer, that you are the right person, and tell them that you may even give them something in return.
I should talk to the realtors.
Yes, realtors, they get tons of you know, leads. There are sellers that go directly to them, but sometimes they don't want to list some of those properties on the MLS, so they send those lists to their specific cash buyers, like people that they know that would buy off the market.
Oh, so if you say that you're cash buyer, they will give it to you, but they don't know you're actually a middleman who is trying to like make money.
Because you need to position yourself like that, because eventually you're gonna be the person who is actually buying those properties and fixing those properties, and you know, you can actually buy some of those properties, hold some of those properties.
Yeah.
So even though you're getting started and you're doing just wholesale deals, just look at it as a long term, that you're eventually going to be doing some of those light renovations. Some of my worst, you know, memories is that I actually end up getting some of the properties that didn't need so much renovations, and I wholesale them. And some of those properties, I even had some multi-units that I sold them for wholesale. But I was just talking to my partner earlier that we needed that stepping stone. We needed maybe the quick money to, you know, have the money so that we can invest into a company. But looking back now, I'm saying that, hey, you know, if any deals maybe came, that now knowing what I know, I would have kept some of the properties that needed light work and repairs, and maybe put them on the market myself. Maybe find a way to buy it and list it on the market or do something with it. So it's not only limiting yourself as only you're doing wholesale, but think of yourself as I'm an investor, and I'm gonna have different ways, different properties that are coming to me. I can either wholesale those properties, I can buy and hold them, or I can buy, fix, and flip them.
I see. Yeah. My friend only does the fix and flip. He recently started, and he's doing well. Like he has like 3 or 4 properties now. Yeah, he started very small, right?
Yeah. Wow. So definitely. So I don't know if there's any more questions. I'm thinking about
really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you
absolutely,
so much.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for reaching out. Thank you for subscribing to YouTube channel. My goal is to definitely help somebody get their first deal.
Thank you so much.
And I hope that will be you, one of you guys, coming and testifying, saying that, you know what, I finally got my first deal. I hope that's going to be you in the next 90 days. The biggest thing is just take some action. Absolutely. Take some actions. All these things you're hearing, do whatever you have to do. If you have to go out, drive around, do it. If you want to put some banner signs out in your area, do it. Whatever you got to do to getting your first wholesale deal. And I'm sure that you guys are already doing it because you're taking the knowledge part right now. You're doing the knowledge part. Yeah.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John. And I'll keep in chat. Jera, I'm also gonna keep in touch with you so we keep each other accountable.
Yes, that would be great. That would be great. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Connect. That group is full of people that are, it's just brand new. It's a brand new page, brand new group. And so it's going to be so many different people that are coming from different places, and it's good to connect with everybody, and just, you might even end up doing deals with them. So you never know. You never know.
Cheers to $1 million years.
Amen. Well, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate your time as well. And yes, don't hesitate to reach out.
All right, John. Thank you.
All right. God bless you guys.
Have a good evening. God bless you.
Take care. All right.
Bye, guys. Bye.